Welcome to Cricket Chats. Today we are going to discuss the NPCA League that is running into its fourth week this coming Sunday. And our guest today is Thota Sreenivas, who is the vice chairperson of the Nairobi Provincial Cricket Association. And we also have Dan Okinyo as the co-host. Thota, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Beryl, and Dan, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for finding time to join us. It's a honor to have you as
Thank you.
senior, one of the senior cricket administrators.
Thank you for inviting me, first of all.
Yeah, you are most welcome. Karibu.
So, Thota, this Sunday will be the fourth week of the league. So we are going to discuss a bit about the Super League. Any surprises for you yet? I know Sri Lions lost the first match. You are awakened a little bit and came back stronger in the next few weeks. So any surprises over the last 3 weeks for you as one of the organizers of the league?
As of now, no. Maybe a first game of ours is a little bit surprised, but we cannot underestimate any team who is participating in the league because, as all the teams are almost, tough teams, you cannot undermine anybody. And any team can beat any team, that is the good thing.
Okay. So over the last 2 seasons, we've had teams really giving very good performances when their pros come in. We've seen a difference in this season. Why do you think that is the case? Because if you look at the logs, it's the local boys who are performing. What do you think is the reason for this? So I'm asking, is it that we've gotten used to the pros and we know how to tackle them, or is it that our local boys have improved?
It's generally the local boys also improved, and the quality has improved definitely. But having pros around, they guide them, and it will be more competitive. Like the games, our aim is like to have more tougher games and competitive games rather than like having one-sided games and finishing in 2 hours, 3 hours, which will not help anybody. Neither the clubs nor the cricket in general in Kenya.
Thota, before on just the issue about the professionals, I just need to know, do you have a guideline that teams use to bring professionals? Because sometimes we've got that people just, there's a saying now, there's a phrase that people are using, they are not even professional, they are just foreign players because their impact is not felt in the league. We've seen in cases whereby you get a player coming into play, his technique is wanting, his effort, his level of professionalism is lower compared to the local boys. So as NPCA, is there something that you look at before a club signs a pro, or you just allow anybody, as long as you brought somebody from wherever is coming to come and play, you're okay with that?
As per NPCA, we have a set guidelines. They have to represent up to certain good level of cricket in their home state, and they have to submit their CV along with their achievements. But now, if somebody, it's also a part of responsibility of the club. Like when as a club, when I'm paying somebody, obviously I look for the value for my money. I can't just bring in anybody. If anybody is bringing them, they are not cheating NPCA by providing fake CVs or anything. They are cheating themselves by wasting their own money. I don't think any club will do that one because it's the money involved in this, like airfares, the local accommodations, monthly retainers, so I don't think being a club chairman, I definitely look into all these things before I bring any player from outside. Not only as a pro, we look not only for the league as a player, we also look if we can improve, on some of our youngsters by guiding them and by giving tips to them, by being with them, to give guidance, etc. So I don't think any club will bring anybody, just, whoever they feel like.
But Thota, last year it was evident that one of the clubs, and I'll just mention Tommy Bapa, they had two players that came to play as pros. These players, you could see their technique. One of the players who was the wicket keeper, his technique wasn't the best. He was, I'll say, for years that I've seen people coming from overseas to play in Kenya, I think he was the worst player, sorry to say. And he only played 3 matches, and we never saw him. So does it mean that this is something that to look at players who are coming is something that NPCA have started looking at now, or is something that was happening the previous years?
See, that is what exactly I'm saying. It's like now we are also dependent. We don't watch their game, day in, day out in India or Pakistan or Zimbabwe, wherever they are coming from. It's like now we also dependent on the guys who give us the references. So once they come here, like you mentioned, one of the players is not up to the mark. Immediately, the clubs, even we are wasting money, we will send them back, but we don't continue with them, because once we see them, we feel that, they are not up to the mark. I don't think, any club will continue with them, and they, effort to lose their games, by keeping those kind of, substandard players.
Very.
Okay. So, Tota, if you look at the results of the last 3 weekends, Ruaraka is at the top, Candice is at the top. At the bottom, we have Gymkhana and Ruaraka. So this season, we have 8 teams in the Super League. The exit of Sir Ali from the Super League, how has that affected the schedule and generally the performances in this season so far?
It's like regarding the Sarali, actually, we knew, it happened before the league, so we made the schedules, accordingly. But performances of Gymkhana and Opia, Opia had to get their pros, so they are in the process. They already registered their pros, but the pros are yet to arrive. I'm sure, they will add value. And Gymkhana, we all know that, they are in the, rebuilding process, this year, so we can understand their progress as well. But as of now, like Simba, you have seen, last week, the pro has come and, immediately he took 5 wickets and, they won their first game. Like it will be more competitive once every club, will have their pros, guiding, and playing along with their local talent. So it will definitely be more competitive in coming matches, I believe. And as per the results, as I said, like now any day any team can beat anyone. We can't be complacent with any opponent.
So you think
And also,
Gymkhana will recover in Obuya?
I'm sure, it's like now they are also having under 19 boys right now. Right now they are in India. It's like now Gymkhana is having a tough time, so in terms of the players and, these getting the perfect combination of the 11. So, but once, the boys are back, I'm sure, they will be more competitive. And I'm sure, they will definitely upset a few matches, some few of the guys, unless, the other people, play carefully with Gymkhana without taking them easy.
But
And regarding the
Tota,
8 teams, regarding the
yes.
8 teams in Super League, NPCA has been, planning this from last 2 years, and we have been giving clubs, the enough notice that, in incoming seasons, we wanted to reduce each division to 8 teams, so that whoever finishes this year bottom, they will be relegated, to the bottom division. And whoever is the top performer there, will be brought up. Our plan is to make it lesser teams and more competitive rather than having more teams and less competitive.
Thota, talking about the issue the Nairobi Gymkhana, it's obvious they've made a number of signing, and we hope they are going to be competitive, as you said. But all this is happening because of issues to do. They are missing two of their players. We know Lucas left for Kachileva, and he's really made a very big impact at Kachileva. In 2 weekends, he has scored 80 runs, 80 in both matches. So probably if you could just share with us the issue with the two players, which I believe if they come back to the team, there's going to be a big change in the team. This is Joseph Onyango Jojo and Martin Okoth. Please, could you just let us know the situation that is happening with them as far as their participation in the league is concerned?
It's both of the players, like as everyone knows, and we release the press release as well. There is some unfortunate incident happened, sometime back in one of the games, and unfortunately they were part of the group. Whether they, like when you are part of the group, obviously, like you also, had to be, brought to the disciplinary, and they came, and there is a verdict has been given, and they appealed, though they appealed late there, but they appealed, but we are looking at the options, because it has involved 2-3 different kind of committees, like NPCA committee, and then there is an appeal committee, there is an council, so these things has been ratified through all these three processes. So we are considering, is there any chance we can do it, but like now, as weeks progress, I'm sure that they will finish their term, of the suspension period. So once they come back, definitely Gymkhana will definitely improve, because Jojo and Martin both, the kind of players, they can make a big impact.
How long is the suspension?
5 or 8 matches.
8 games, yes.
Okay.
So they have 5. They have 5 more to go.
Yes.
If nothing happens in the
So second leg.
Correct. Yes.
So are you also reconsidering Sir Ali, or they are gone for the season?
I don't know. It's like now, that it is everywhere in the social media. Like this matter is in the court. I don't think we can discuss on that one. Like.
Okay. All right. So do you see any record being broken? We've seen at least a century every weekend. First week was Sumit and Biren. Second week was Biren and Neil. Last week was Pushka. Do you see any record being broken this season?
The way Sachin and Pushka batting, I'm sure, in my view, either Dhiren or Pushkar or Sachin, one of them definitely will end up in the leading run scorer. Hopefully they'll make, the highest run scorer in the history of, NPCA maybe this year.
I know the record for centuries is 7. Yes. 7 centuries in a season by Raket.
Yes.
And for wickets, Pushka
Yeah,
7 the other day.
Yeah, and, there are 2 hat tricks happened, like in the league, that
Yeah.
Pushkar, and last week, one of the Kachi B team player, Mahendra took a hat trick as well, against us.
Yeah.
B team, yes.
Yeah.
Thota, are you ruling out, you mentioned Pushka, Dhiren, or Sachin Gill as some of the players that are going to, one of them might end up being highest run scorer in the league? Are you ruling out our current national team players?
We can only speak as per the performances till now and
Okay.
the stats, till now. And Dhiren, I have seen your interview. He's still open to play, national team. So he's definitely a national team player. And also Pushkar has played for national team. So we might consider those two also as a national team players.
And in the current national team players, talking about current team, is the one that played in the continental tournament that just ended last month. Of the current players in the team, which player do you think probably can join the three and fighting for places for the top batter? A player that you think that should actually be fighting, should be among those three players?
Rakep is senior, and I always, I'm a big fan of Rakep. But now the way the number he is batting at, to give chances to other
Youngster.
youngsters, which is good, So it is a bit difficult for him to catch up there. But I'm looking at the other player, who can catch up is maybe Sukhdeep Singh, because he bats top of the order, and also he's a very talented boy. And the last year he ended up, highest run scorer in the league, which is good, so that if he can catch up and, if he ends up, in one of the top three, it will be good for our cricket.
Thota, you do realize
And
that you signed Irfan this season and you're campaigning for Sukhdeep.
Irfan missed, a few games. Yes, he just joined the other day.
That's true.
Uh, he could not bat for long. He just, he got to bat only for 4 balls. So yeah, definitely Irfan is also another, one of the top batters. So we can join. There are 5, 6 guys, who are very good, competitive. And then it's good, that if the youngsters, even Sachin Budia has a lot of talent and hope, he can also be one of the top 5 or 6 batters. He's a genuine all-rounder. We need people like, some of them. The other guy, who is a bit struggling, but he's a very capable Asian. So, and this year league, fortunately, our player Neil Mugabe, he also batting well. So hopefully he can make an impact and, make it into national team.
So
do you think
speaking of, it's done. Thota, every weekend you've had different opening batters in the Spray Lions A team. Are you trying to create an opening batter in each one of your players?
It's not every, from last season onwards, Shem and Shubham are the ones opening. At first game, we wanted, try and see if Mutua can, he's also an youngster, aspiring for the national team. Maybe, we give him also a chance to open the innings. But, we realized, we don't want to demoralize his confidence. So maybe once the wickets are settled and, the way weather conditions favors, maybe he can start opening so that it gives confidence to him.
Okay, so are you
Thota,
done with the experiment?
maybe
Yeah, yeah, done, yes.
After 2 weeks.
First week only, second week onward shape is batting, yes.
Okay, so I expect it's fun to go to the top. I know last week you didn't have enough runs.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying I expect his fun to go straight to the top from next week. I know that last week he batted at 3 because you didn't have enough runs to chase.
I think we'll continue with the same batting order.
Okay. So Shem will be opening.
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
Yes, that's what we are expecting. So.
Okay.
a quick one. Is looking at the performance of Obui Academy now, they've not managed to give. They have only picked 1 wicket in 2 matches. and in those two matches they have not scored. They have not gone past 100 runs. Then they've got Collins, and you find that in all those matches, Collins has been the top scorer. Do you think that he's under a lot of pressure to perform, and at the same time, when he doesn't perform, the team is absorbed in that pressure and they cannot perform? And as having seen the team play, having followed up the team play, do you think they are able to do well minus Collins in any instance that maybe the team Collins is needed for another assignment away from his club?
Uh, you see, like as I told you, they are heavily, as you mentioned, they are heavily dependent on Collins because they have a very, very young side. Maybe if you look at the league teams, maybe that is the youngest basically any young team it will take time to develop definitely, and they are heavily reliant on Collins runs. Uh, into the groove, and they have another good player called Steve Biko. I think they have good players, but the only thing is, maybe this year they are not yet up to the mark, but I'm sure they will pick up. And as I mentioned, once they get their pros, and also they are also waiting for one of the players, Kavi Dosaja, to finish his disciplinary thing. So once he joins, I think I'm sure they will also have a very decent side, for sure. Now, right now, the pressure of performing for two seniors, Kennedy and Collins, is the one, mainly, not coming to their rescue. So that is why they are struggling. But I'm sure, that once they settle as a unit, and they also will pick up.
Thota, if that happens, assuming that what you've said happens, and again, not Kachileva, Obuya manages to get their professional foreign players to come and boost the team. And looking at the teams that have played so far, if that happens, then the team that is going to be a weak link in the league is going to be Kachileva. Is that right?
I don't think so. Kachileva, like some of the clubs are dependent on more on professionals rather than the local players. If you look at Kachileva, they have done one very good under 19 opening batter. Then they have to meet Sumit is there, and as you mentioned, a few minutes back about Lucas, the impact what he creates. They have also very decent side. I don't think that is why I told you any team in this league, if we take it easy, then that day, I'm sure the one of the top teams will suffer. Definitely, we cannot take any game lightly, and every team has a good, they have a good combination, and some of the youngsters, they are performing well. Some, they are yet to catch up the pressure. But Kachileva side, more or less, they have a good settled side for last 2 3 years.
But Tota, when you say a young team, Buya has the same set of players they had last year. Some went away and came back, like the Asirigwa brothers. So when you say young, do you mean they're inexperienced as well? Because most of them have already played in the Super League. And that applies same to Sikh Union when we were saying they have a young side, but they're not that inexperienced either.
That's what I'm saying. See, like now, and when you say young, you see, taking up the responsibility is the key. That comes only with the experience. The more seasons you play, you understand. Taking up and owning up the responsibility. Like when you're young, you play like a more of fancy cricket. Even though you're talented, you play of more fancy cricket rather than responsible cricket. So, like the one example I told you, Steve Omago, the left-hander, he performed very well in the last season. This year he is struggling a bit. I'm sure he will come up, definitely. He will come up. And also you see like, in Obuya they're playing young boys, like as young as 16 years old, which is good, the boys start learning the tough, situations from the very young age, which is good. By the time they reach under 19 level, they will be mentally tough. Though you struggle for a season or two, but developing the young kids also, which is a good sign as well. But
Okay.
as we told, like few seniors around, so when they are guiding, I'm sure they'll get into these things.
Okay. So last one from me. Are you expecting teams to improve? Because we've seen over the last 3 weeks, I think only 3 or 4 times have the teams batting first managed to bat out their 50 overs. Should we be worried, or should we expect an upward trend with regards to that?
Regarding the performances, as we all know, particularly the weather conditions, during this early stages of the league, and also as we all know that all the wickets has been relayed, then we always see this kind of trend, initial stages of the league until the wickets settle down. Because right now, the wickets are slow, and that low, it keeps slow. It is difficult conditions to bat on, and then it also contributes, by the weather conditions, with the wicket conditions. So it is tough weeks, tough first few weeks for the batters, and then the league progresses. Now the wickets will settle, and also the players, after 3 4 months break from the league, you start coming as a team, and then with the new signings you understand, there are some changes also with the players. So by the time you understand as a combination, it will take few games, so I'm sure once you settle down, everybody will start performing, then the league will be more competitive.
Okay. Dan, last one.
Thota, I've got one more question, and maybe this one will lead to another one, depending on the way you're going to answer it. First of all, congrats with the effort your association is doing to make sure that the league is the way cricket at NPCA is being run. We've seen that you've managed to handle the issues with the umpires, and for those that follow keenly whatever is happening with as far as umpiring is concerned, there's professionalism, whereby by Thursday, everybody knows where he or she is umpiring. You've managed to bring former players who are experienced to come and take up the umpiring role. And I doubt there are a number of issues as far as umpiring is concerned. If they are there, then they're minimal. So it shows there's a number of there's an improvement in that area. Secondly, you've come up with an app that is, if you want to see the statistics, the results, the standings, everything, it's just a click on your phone. So with the running of the league, I can see there's a lot of improvement compared to a few years ago, 4 years ago. So that shows that you have a good intention with as far as improvement of cricket is concerned. But one thing that we've not seen it change, we've not seen it improve, if there's any, is the issue with motivating of teams. And teams are being motivated through maybe a token of appreciation, having prizes for the team. Gone are years whereby a team will work for a whole year, 8 to 10 months of cricket, and then you turn up on the last day of the competition, you'll be given a trophy. Your team has spent about, I'm sure for Australia Lions, they spend about more than 3 million a year just to make the club move. But after that, probably you've won the league, you put on the LOF, you brought the professionals, but you are being given a trophy of less than 10,000 shillings. That really is not good for the team and for the players. So what are you trying to do that in ensuring that at least teams are motivated? Are we likely to see sponsors coming on board, or what are you doing to see that at least the work of clubs is not going in vain?
Okay, firstly, thank you very much for your compliments. And then regarding the umpires issue, we had a meeting, and we thought of when we are running our league, we thought of having our own umpires, who we can control directly rather than depending on external parties. So that is one reason we went in our own umpires issue, and or maybe having our own umpires. We are trying to streamline everything. I know that we brought in some inexperienced umpires. They are good players, but umpiring itself is a different profession. Having knowledge itself, it doesn't enough. You need a lot of like tough mental toughness to stand on the ground and cope up with the pressure. So we had trained them, most many of them, almost everyone. Courtesy with Western Province Cricket Association, the South African Umpires Association. Thanks to Mr. Dev Govindji, the ICC match referee, who has directed me to a gentleman called Tom Okrosi. He helped us, by giving us the classes for free of cost. And then whatever the exam fees, yes, as an NPCA association, we paid for them, and at least we had some qualified umpires, so which it can improve our cricket. And then regarding the performances, we do receive few complaints, but we compile from the umpires, captains reports and umpires. Then we see like the trend. We just, if someone complains against you, we just don't go, because sometimes some captain might be bitter because he lost the game. Maybe he'll give negative feedback. So we see like 2-3 weeks trend on a particular umpire, whether they are receiving consistently the poor rating, or it's only from one team they received. Then we are trying to talk to the umpires individually to see where they can improve. And I'm also talking to the same Western Province Cricket Association umpires, that if anybody is particularly weak with LBW decision, coping up the pressure, and see how they can give a specialized training to those particular umpires to improve themselves. So that is what our plans are. And regarding the motivation of the teams, yes, as a club owner, I do feel that pain. But as an NPCA association, when we took over, we were in negative. By God's grace, now we managed to collect all the outstandings, and also we are pushing clubs. Earlier, we used to have 3-4 years debts from the clubs, but now this year onwards, last year onwards, if you don't pay, you don't play. It's a simple, tagline. So because we need money to pay umpires. We need to run the league, everything. So then we also ordered, like trophies. We have not given trophies for past 3 years and last year, and we also ordered for next coming 2 years the trophies. Which on the in the transport actually, in the shipment they are coming. Once they come, we wanted to have a clubs night. So that then we invite all the clubs and other people. Then we'll have a prize distribution ceremony. And regarding the sponsorship, our plan is to give some kind of prize money to the teams. Yes, we are in discussions with some corporates. Our chairman, Kanti Rabadia, is talking to some of the corporates. So our aim is to introduce, like man of the match awards, so that and also give prize money for league winners and runners for each division, to motivate and to make it more competitive and people can take it more serious. rather than leaving out with only the trophy. So that is our plans, and the success of this the good organization is definitely the because of the like-minded people and who are willing to work as a team, and also we are all have cricket in our heart, and we want to see cricket grow back to the world stages where we used to witness big teams coming in, and we go watch the matches in the Gymkhana ground or whatever ground in Nairobi. So our aim is from as a one of the provisional associations, we try and contribute as much as an association we can contribute to the national team success. If we are happy that almost all the players who represents Kenya team, Kenya national team are from Nairobi province. So which is also a good, it's a proud feeling for us. But we would like to see more associations, come through with more competitive players, so that our Kenyan cricket will be like more competitive. Even to have fight for the places from different regions of the country, rather than having only from Nairobi. But we, as Nairobi Provincial Association, then we try our best to improve our standards. By improving our standards, definitely it will improve even our cricketer standards to represent the country.
So, Thota, as you look for sponsorships for the league, are you also looking at being at a place whereby you can televise some of the matches, even if you only broadcasting one of the big matches every Sunday? Is that a probability in the near future?
The first question he'll ask, what is my return on my investment? He needs to also advertise his brand through the live games. So that is our also, that is okay, Beryl.
I'm here.
So our plans are to have a few games at least just to start with, not all the league games. Maybe some competitive teams competitive matches by the league toppers. Maybe it will create interest. So, and also we are trying to go social media updates from this year. The app itself, the new app which we migrated, it can give us the flexibility of you know any 5 wicket haul or any milestone. A batter hits 50, it will automatically post in Twitter and Instagram. Then also we wanted to engage few individuals to have our social media campaign so that we can also boost our league, and we can promote our league by promoting the league. We can attract some sponsors, and also through social media we can promote the sponsors.
That's very encouraging to hear. So, should we expect broadcasting this season or next season?
Actually, we are trying to talk to. We are talking with some people, and if it comes through, at least a few games we wanted to broadcast from this season onwards. If not, then definitely from next season onwards, we will definitely look into it. We wanted to achieve some of our plans. What we are discussing, and what we want to achieve through those discussions. We will definitely work on those things, and I'm sure maybe they will come through. Some sponsors will come through, and will create more interest in the league by appreciating the clubs.
Okay. Dan, who are you looking forward to seeing on Sunday?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm not sure which matches are being played there.
No, individual.
But individual,
Yes.
I'm looking at another good performance from the Waraka duo of Sachin and Pushkar. I think they performed well on Sunday against Somibapa. So they're playing Canvas, if I'm not wrong.
No, it's Stellines.
Yeah, they are playing Stray Lions. So that will be a good match to watch. And I hope I'll be on the pitch by 8:30 to see from the groundsman what they're going to do. So yeah, I'm looking at those two. And then there was a 5-wicket haul from
Mahinda Pal.
bowler.
Yeah.
Mahinda Pal.
Yeah.
So they are playing Obuya at Lenana. Again, let's see if he's going to do the same against a team that hasn't started off the campaign. And another something else that was about to cross my mind is going back to Gymkhana. Gymkhana made some signing, and one of those signings that was Alex Obanda. And it's unfortunately that Obanda has not gotten off the mark in 2 matches. And then on Sunday, his third match, he was nowhere to be seen. So I hope to see him. First of all, I hope he's going to come, he's going to be seen, and secondly, he's going to get off the mark if he happens to play. So those are the 3 things: the 2 duos at Ruaraka, Obanda, and the Sikh Union bowler.
I think you should save the preview Thursday. And also, you don't have to go to watch Ruaraka. You'll get a video in your inbox if something happens. So go to Lenana. Thota?
Lenana is a distance.
I know.
Yeah, I'm also as an NPCA official. I look forward, Sachin and Pushkar can perform well again. But on a lighter note, as a Star Lions, which I don't want to see, because they're playing against us.
You don't want to see them performing.
That's what I'm saying. As an NPCA official, I would like to see. As a Star Lions chairman, I don't want to.
You don't want the Lions to go astray.
They are actually because it's like the performances, definitely, as I said, Dhiren is performing well last match. He won't get a chance to bat, so, and then like Pushkar, some of the guys, who are in, top form. I hope they continue the same form again. And also from Sri Lanka, last week, Mutwa bowled very well. A youngster doing well is always a good thing. Then also like Astella, he bowled very well, and also he batted well, to add some respectable score to Somibapa. I think, these youngsters, we are looking at the youngsters, who can perform well, which is our future, in our Kenyan cricket.
Yeah. For me, I've been looking at Tip Babaria since he started playing at Gymkhana, and I was very impressed that he stayed at the wicket and faced 155 balls and managed to be one of the top scorers. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of his performances at his new club. And I am really, really looking forward to the day that I will see Lucas batting above 9. That is all.
The other day he came at 7.
Yeah, so he moved from 9 to 7. No, he moved from 7 to 9. Is it? Because Ravi came back.
No, he used to. He used to bat number 7 even in Gymkhana.
So I'm hoping that he goes up.
But he's saying that even with those, even at coming at number 7, he still has a lot of overs to play. So for him, the number doesn't matter.
As I told you, initial stages, the wickets are tough. He might not even get to bat, once the leagues progress,
Yeah. Okay, I'm hoping Sumit will keep giving those good performances because he hasn't gotten any closer to the performance that he had in the opening match. So I'm hoping that he will pick that up.
And also Neil and Karim are players to watch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already told Karim that I'm watching. We gave him a pass on Sunday, so from this Sunday, all eyes are on Sri Lions.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you so much, Thota, for opening our series for this season, and we look forward to speaking with you again in the near future.
Okay, thank you, Dan, and thank you, Beryl.
Thank you, Dan.
Your time, and thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dan. See you on Thursday. Tomorrow. Day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.